swear to you, mother.
I love how you slated each camera. So that did absolutely nothing. You're supposed to slate in the middle so all cameras could see it. That you just made more work for everyone.
I thought it'd be a fun thing that you clip in at the beginning of the thing.
Thanks for joining us on Two Cool Moms. I'm Joe Gatto.
I'm Steve Byrne.
Thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate it.
Go.
Oh, I love you, baby. Hey, how you been? Long week this week. Long week. Woof. Oh, kids are back in school.
Yeah.
Man.
What else, man? Tell me.
Kids are back in school. Back to school time. Fun time at your house, or is it sad times?
Yes.
Me too.
Very fun time.
Fun times?
Kids love it. Got a great neighborhood. Great kids in our neighborhood.
Bus kids? You kids bus?
Bus kids, yeah.
My kids don't bus.
No?
Only bad things happen on a bus. Have you seen Speed? Bad things. That 55 miles and over.
I think that's public transportation. Is what we would say there. But
sure.
yeah, school bus is the best.
I don't. Yeah, I mean,
you
when
take
I
the
was
bus in
growing
school?
up, I got in some trouble on the bus back in the day.
What'd you do?
Me and Frankie DeFrancesco.
You blew a guy on the bus?
We,
Edit that out, Jiggy.
no, that's just a bad joke. We can get that. We had. Did you have those science kits when you were in 8th grade that had like you dissected a frog and whatnot?
Of course.
You know. So we had one of those kits, and in it was the little razor blade thing.
No.
So we carved our initials in the back of the back seat in the leatherette of the bus, and it was our straight up initials, and there was only one JG in the class and one FD
pretty
in the
stupid.
class. It was stupid. So we got pinched, and I remember my dad had to replace the leatherette on him. I got in trouble.
But that's where they just take the green duct tape and put it on the
Yeah,
the
that's
little
it. They
patch.
just-
Yeah.
Did you ever get in a fight on the? I
bus?
never saw there wasn't really a rowdy bus that we got in a fight. Do you remember your bus driver?
I don't remember any of them.
You don't remember any of them?
I barely remember teachers.
Oh, really?
Like people always like, oh, I had so-and-so in 3rd grade. I'm like, what, third? I no clue.
Really?
No clue. You could put a gun on my head and have my family in front of me. Like, tell me your 5th grade teacher. Like, I'm going to miss you guys. Like, I have no clue.
Really?
No idea.
Mrs. Gallietta.
Really?
My 5th grade.
3rd grade.
3rd grade was Miss Mascara.
First.
1st grade was Miss. I don't know first. 2nd grade was Miss Merlino. That's where I start.
Kindergarten teacher.
Kindergarten teacher. Nobody. I don't know.
Math teacher.
I remember my principal of my kindergarten because the principal of my kindergarten was actually my mom's teacher at Port Richmond High School.
Really?
Yeah, so he like loved me. Yeah.
Favorite teacher in high school?
Favorite teacher in high school? That's pretty tough, but Mr. Cummings was great. He was he taught
Horrible name.
Yeah, he's actually pretty famous with us and the jokers. We use him a lot. Or you know what? Mrs. Lanza, my Spanish teacher, we had a great time, but it was only because I wasn't really good at Spanish. She just liked me.
Right.
And I used to pratfall coming into her class every day. Every day I used to pratfall coming in, and everybody would just wait for it. But the first time I did it, she thought that one of the football players tripped me, and she gave detention to him. And she was like, she's like, you don't pick on people like that, bro. He's smaller than you. And like, she was like, he's like a nerd, like, and you're like a cool kid, and like, you can't pick on people.
He's not getting laid at all. He has no luck with girls. He's got no shoulder development. Look at him. Yeah.
So she was like ripping me apart, like to defend me, which was really funny. And then at
I'm
the
not
end,
that
I was
bad.
like, I said, he didn't do anything. I tripped myself. And she was like, don't cover for him. And I was like, no, really, I didn't. And she's like, what, you don't think I could tell a fake trip? And whatever. And so then the next day I did it again.
Yeah.
And then she looked at me and I said, and then she like laughed. And then and it just got more and more. Like I would take out desks. I would like flip over the desk. I would and like everybody would wait for me to come in. And like, she wouldn't even start class until I like finally took a seat. And I did it every day. And then 1 year after I graduated, I came back to visit her. And I did it outside her door coming in. And everybody in the class laughed and was like, oh, he fell. And she was like, nope, he meant it.
That's Joe
And
Gatto.
I did it when I got my award going up on stage. I got not my diploma. My mother made me promise I wouldn't do it when I got my diploma. Mm-hmm. But I got an award for something, and I bid it on. And as I was coming down there, I was like, trip, and I fell down the stairs coming off the stage. I remember that. Yeah, yeah. Pratfall was my thing. Still is in life, but I did. In high school, that was like, that was the thing that I would do. I think she was my favorite teacher because she embraced it. Like,
sure,
and she was like, let me be myself, and she was just a really nice lady. How about you? You have a favorite teacher? No, you don't even remember any of them. You weren't a good student or no?
Horrible.
Oh, really?
Horrible student. One of the worst.
I wouldn't pick up that vibe from you.
Awful. Byrne. And cut. No, I still have. I saw that meme somebody made where it's like this old guy. He's like in his 50s. He's like this, and he's like, oh, and it's like when you have a dream that you missed a college finals and you're not going to graduate, but you're in your 50s. And it was like this old white guy. He just looked so. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, it was so funny. But I do have those nightmares where.
Me too.
I'm like, I'm not going to graduate. Yeah. And I have it all the time. And even when I graduated, I was like, how did I do this? Because I never went to class. I would have finals. I'd be like, I didn't go to class at all. Like, how am I going to do this?
Right. Did you do college?
Yeah. Kent State.
Kent State. That's right. And then you graduated. What was your degree again? I forgot.
Theater. And I'm sweating a theater degree.
Oh my goodness.
I'll tell you how bad I was. I never got cast in one play at Kent State.
You had a sitcom.
I know.
That's crazy.
I never got. I auditioned, but I never got cast in one thing.
Didn't even make you background actor number 4.
Nothing.
You couldn't even get number 4.
Nothing.
And with a theater degree.
I didn't get anything.
With a theater degree.
With a theater degree.
Oh my goodness, man! You picked the wrong thing. You didn't realize
monologue.
that?
I did the monologues. I did all the things. I was always like rigging lights and like doing set design and building everything. And I was like, can I get on the stage here at someone? Never got it. And then like I graduate. And there were some really talented kids in my class, like really hardworking.
That's a good way to make yourself feel better about it. It's a lot of talent I was going up against. Oh yeah, a lot of talent. Barry, he was great.
God, Jennifer Lawrence.
Who else was in your class? Yeah. Denzel.
Denzel was there. He'd just pop in and be like, "Hey, Steve, can you run a scene with me?" Like, not now, dude.
That's actually making me such a better actor for everybody.
But never got cast in anything, and then like. I think 3 years after that, BET's Comic View was my first, which was kind of crazy, but that was my first TV stand-up appearance because Will Sylvans and Talent ran this room at the Boston Comedy Club. So they had me, they were so kind, I would get to go up and do like these urban shows. Yep. And so I felt like those were the only shows that I was like doing my first year or two in the city. So then somebody had seen me at one of those, and I got Comic View, and I was like, wow, I got my first TV thing, and I was like kind of looking around at everybody else at Kent. Nobody had gotten anything, and then to get a sitcom, and I was like, wow, I
couldn't even get on that stage
I couldn't get
college,
nothing.
So you made the jump to stand up. But when you went for your theater degree, what did you think your future was? Wait, this is great. This is fascinating to me. So what did you think you were going to be when you grew up, when you were in college?
I did think I would be involved in theater in some capacity. I really did enjoy scene design. I enjoyed rigging the lights and working on the grid. I thought it was fun.
So behind the scenes
it was cool.
Stuff.
But then I also wanted to act. But wasn't given the opportunity to.
Right.
And I'll never forget this. I moved to the city. I was doing stand-up for maybe 3 months, and I'd read a thing about in Backstage. They were hiring somebody. They were looking for an actor for a play about the Chinese Mao's revolution.
Okay.
And so I was given, some guy had just quit, and I had 48 hours to learn the whole play. Because I showed up, I did the thing. They're like, great, you're hired. Good. I think they just needed somebody.
Right.
So they're like, here's a VHS tape of the show. Memorize it. Here's your lines. And I had to watch the TV in a mirror so I could get the blocking right.
Yeah.
So I was watching it in reverse, but I 48 hours, I memorized the whole thing. I was ready to go. And I had zero clue what I was doing there. I had zero idea what the show was about. I was like breaking during these like dramatic parts because I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? And they're like, she's dying. Like, why are you rapping?
So, lights out, but you're improv lines.
I was like Jimmy Fallon on SNL. Like I'm like breaking character in this thing. And I'll never forget the guy who was the director, producer, whatever, is off Broadway. So it's kind of like
Broadway.
It's kind of like
it's a big deal here.
It's a big deal here, yeah.
For sure.
He goes, we were all having a cast dinner, and he looked at me. This is when I started breaking, by the way. Prior to, I was very serious about it. He looked at me across the table while we're eating, and he's like, I just want to thank you guys all for doing such a great job. Thank you. The show's great, and I'm very proud of it, and I hope you guys are too. And he's like, you see the talent and amassed at the table, and he looked at me, he goes, and, there's just some people that just shouldn't act. And he looked right at me, and I just went, you just feel the blood drain from you.
Oh my
and I was like, I was 21 or 22 at the time. I was like, oh my God, we got 5 more weeks of this?
Yeah.
And so then I just stopped taking it as seriously. And I think that's when I made like a full tilt towards stand-up, because I was like, I guess I'm not good at this. And then, years later, you get a sitcom, and there's like, it's a sitcom, but there's still like dramatic beats you've got to. And I'll never forget, the first pilot, the pilot episode I did with Dan Lauria, where I leave New York City, I'm going to stop being corporate attorney, I'm going to buy the bar for my parents, and this is my new occupation, and I'll be a lawyer part-time at the bar, right? And Dan Lauria and I are doing the last scene where I'm closing up, and he said something along the lines of like, do you need help? I go, no, I got it, Dad. And he had a really sweet line. The pilot ended on a nice note, and he went over and pulled the Sullivan and Son neon sign to signify we're closed for the night. And he delivered something, and I got like misty eyed. I got choked up, and then
took you right back to that stage. Fuck you, dude. And then Dan Lauria started laughing at you.
But Dan, I went over to Dan. I go, Dan, I got. You choked me up there. He goes, I didn't do anything. You're an actor, kid. And I was like, wow. And that was the tailwinds for me.
To hear it from him, too.
To hear it from him. And there was one other line in there where Jody delivered a line, and I didn't say anything, and I just drew it out. And the director came over. He goes, you can't teach that. I was like, wow. Oh. And it was just the comic timing.
Take that, Kent State.
Yeah. But I did 2 more shows at Kent State as a comic, so I got money back.
Nice.
So I remember going over the checks. I was like, well, I think I got a semester back is what I got. So I got a semester back in my pocket. But that was the time where I was like, oh, okay, maybe I could do this. So,
that's really cool.
Pretty wild, yeah. But you guys came and visited.
Yeah, it was fun.
Our set, and Owen Benjamin, who is
good time.
Who is not someone who enjoys like poop humor, all that stuff. He's got to be by himself. Yeah.
I need to use a restroom, and his dressing room is the closest. And I don't shut the door.
Joe took a shit in Owen's dressing room, and Owen was like, "Oh God, this is looking disgusting."
Yeah,
and he literally had the stage manager call the janitor to clean out his
No
bathroom.
way, really? Yeah. Oh, it wasn't even a bad one. I just had to go to the bathroom. I mean, I would have loved to see the Multiverse of Madness where Steve Byrne stars with Hugh Jackman, like on a Broadway show. Like, I would love like that. Because was there part of you when you were doing when you were doing the theater? Because you said you wanted to act. Did you imagine that you'd ever be a serious like Broadway actor?
I really did think, yeah. I mean, that was something I was pretty passionate about when I first came here, especially.
Well, to go to commit yourself to like college, like get your degree in it.
Yeah.
Were your parents supportive of it, or did you?
Very.
Really? Your mom even?
Yeah, which is
straight
not
shooter. Yeah.
the norm in the Korean community at all. Right. But my mom was very supportive, and I think it was like the first time I did. I mean, they came to all my shows when I first started, but God first time I did the Tonight Show, that's when it was like, I think for them it was like, wow.
Thank God it worked out.
Yeah. But it's like, wow. I mean, the Tonight Show was such a big thing. I mean, for kids of our generation, of course.
Sure. So your first Tonight Show, because you did it multiple times, right?
I did 10 times, yeah.
10 times, that's great. So your first time, do you remember who the guest was?
I remember it was Laura Logan. She's a CBS news correspondent, who I guess went off the deep end recently. But like a gorgeous news reporter, but she worked for CBS. And then I think it was James Spader.
Yeah,
was the lead.
And then who's your third grade teacher?
You set it all up there.
I did. That's so funny. Oh, yeah. But that had to be like, because for me, like I knew graduating college, I'm not going to be an accountant. I got an accounting degree. I was like, this is not for me. I'm not doing this. I
Right,
got to figure out what I'm going to do after it, but I'm just going to get this degree and I'll figure it out.
Right.
So you graduated with a degree that you went to chase for a minute, and then you're like, well, this isn't going to really necessarily work out for me. Let me figure out which way. Because you don't need a theater degree to become a very successful stand-up comic.
You don't need a theater degree at all.
Right.
I'll just tell you right now. Save your money. Don't do it.
Yeah, I could see like...
Just get to work.
Well,
but you wanted to perform, I assume.
I would say that about, but I would just say about that, like all that set design stuff and all that all came full tilt for you. You were looking at your set of your show. You had notes there. You were looking at a very specific guy. You were enthusiastic about that part of it. So you don't need the degree, but the degree fed a passion for you.
Sure, but I also had a great showrunner, Rob Long. I also had an amazing producer, Vince Vaughn, and Peter Billingsley that oversaw a lot. So, like, what do you think? It's so funny, like, when you get a show, too, when, like, you're constantly auditioning for things and never getting anything. And then all of a sudden, just because you wrote a script with a showrunner who wrote like 90% of the script at the time, and now all of a sudden I'm on the other side of the camera, like here with Rob and Peter, and we're watching people audition, and people would leave the room. They're like, what do you think? I'm like, what do I think? Here's what I think. I think if I audition for my own show, I won't fucking get it. So how am I going to judge? I have no idea if these guys are good or not. I don't know. And after like the second year, that's when I would watch so many submission tapes. And I was like, that's when I really kind of started to be able to discern the difference between somebody that was like really great or, you know.
Okay, yeah. I mean, because when I had my degree and I graduated with an accounting degree, all right. So I hit the. Now it's me.
But you had a passion for comedy, though, right?
Yeah, but I always did it on the side. I was always on the side, but not in college. In college, I wasn't doing anything. College, we took our time off. Like we didn't form the Tenderloin until after college. Like I liked making people laugh, but it was never like I was going to be like, oh, this is what I'm going to do in my life.
You never thought in the back of your head, in the deepest recesses,
never.
I'm going to make a living.
I still don't have a desire to perform and be in front of the camera. Like I love, it's always like I always knew like I wanted to make movies. Like I had filmmaking. I loved movies. I love filmmaking.
As extroverted as you are,
I never
on camera. You still really?
No, I never thought of myself as an actor. I never thought a traditional actor. I never thought of any of that. So when I graduated college, I was like, okay, I was living in my mom's basement. I had an accounting degree. And I'm like, okay, what am I going to do with myself here? All right. So I'm
Joey, what's those noises downstairs?
No, I wore headphones. So, because we had vents, so I didn't want my mom to hear the porn, so I used to wear headphones. And true story.
You have on like those yellow,
the
yellow
over the
Sony,
cans. No, the over the cans, the overhead cans.
Wow,
yeah,
okay.
because you want the surround sound. yeah. But then I told you about the time the laundry showed up. I told you about that time the laundry just showed up.
Yep.
Which meant my mom was in the room at one point. It was in the same basement. And I had the cans on facing the corner where my desktop was. But anyway, so I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I was like, and my mom came down. I remember this vividly. My mom came down and I was writing. I was writing something. And my mom comes down and she goes, so this is what you're going to do with your life? You're going to sit in my basement and write? She said to me. And I was writing a short story. Like I always loved creative writing. And I was like, I said, no. I was like, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do, Mom. She goes, well, you got to do. And I said, okay. And then she said, why don't you go figure out how to get a job? As she said to me. And I was like, I was looking at the classifieds and that didn't work. And I was like, I got to get in front of people for me to get a job. I was like, that's what I feel like. So there was a job fair at the Marriott Marquis in Midtown Manhattan. And I was like, I'm just going to go to this
Showtime.
I was like, I'm just going to go to this job fair. Yeah. Put a suit on. I went to this job fair and I walked out with a job offer from Accenture. And I came back home and she goes, how'd it go? I said, well, I got a job. And she goes, really?
Like a real job.
A real job. She said, yeah, I got a job. And I was like, and I had graduated in 3.5 years from college. So I had to go like do my walk.
Right.
To get my,
don't
degree.
Trip.
And I was like, yeah, don't trip. And I was like, they want me to start. And I was like, but I'm not gonna graduate then. I'm not gonna go walk. And she goes, oh, you have to walk. I said, well, you just told me to get a job. Now I have to walk. I was like, they told me this is when I start. Yeah. She's like, well, see if you could go. So they put me in the next class, which because you went to like a 3-week training for Accenture. They shipped you out to Chicago at this facility they had. So I was leaving the day after. And I was like, all right. I said, all right. So I'll wait and not start my job. Right. So then I just lived in their basement for like another month. And every time she came downstairs, I was like, you wanted me here. You wanted me to walk. I could be making money. Yeah. So it was really interesting just to have to like know I wasn't going to use my degree and it's kind of scary, right? Like I had this degree and I was like, but I don't want to do this.
Right,
I just
right.
wasted 3.5 years of my life, all this money. It's like, what am I going to do with this? And then just to try to figure it out. And then comedy just happened. Met Murray on the ferry, and it was like, hey, we're doing this. I was thinking about doing improv shows in Manhattan. Do you want to do them? Sure. And that's how it all started.
Really?
Yeah, just bumping into each other. And then he had bumped. No, I was always talking to Murray. Murray met up with Sal. He was on the ferry with Sal and Sal and another friend of ours. And he was who was Mike Baccio, who was the first Tenderloin. And he was like, hey, he was like, you guys want to let's do some stand up. We came to my mom's same basement, and we practiced for 6 months.
Really?
Yeah. And then we had our
Well,
first
how do you practice improv?
You just keep doing it. You just keep doing scenes for no one. We would videotape it, watch it back for ourselves,
Really?
critique it. Yeah. And I think that was a weird step that we necessarily didn't need, but in the hindsight, I guess it worked because it made us really good improvisers.
Yeah.
You know? And I think it took away a lot of the nerves more than anything. Because the first time I got up on stage, I've been doing it for 6 months. So
Right.
I think it wasn't like it's the first time I get up on stage. And then that room was just filled with family and friends. It was 50 people at the Producers Club right here in Midtown Manhattan. We rented out the room. Yeah,
sure.
But it was like, it was your friends and family.
Yeah.
Like that's who came. It wasn't like, people were selling tickets on the streets.
Yeah, hometown crowd.
But then we started doing bigger shows. I remember we did a show in Staten Island, and we actually like ticketed all the cars in the parking lot with little flyers, and they just said Jennifer Lopez's ass. It said like in big print, and then it's in fine print said is good, and so is this comedy show. And it had like that, so it like really grabbed attention like of everything. It was really like funny to do that kind of marketing. Like we were like literally trying to sell tickets to the show we were doing at the College of Staten Island, and we had this sold out like sketch show.
Oh, you did it?
Yeah, it was great.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fun.
So it worked.
It worked. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess so. Here we are.
Here we are.
Right here.
Yeah, but I mean, those flyers worked.
Those flyers worked. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. Well, shall we get to work here?
Let's get into it. Two Cool Moms at Two Cool Moms Pod at gmail.com is how you submit your questions, or you go ahead to our Instagram. Thank you for submitting. We're here to answer some dilemmas.
Yeah, we're here for you.
Let's do it.
You need us, you morons. You can't figure things out for yourselves. So
somebody's hungry. Is it lunchtime?
I got to fly to New York to answer your questions.
It's lunchtime.
Unbelievable.
It's lunchtime.
It always from Nolan.
Without fail. Without fail. Nolan, here we go.
Hey guys, I got a girl issue. Well, there was a girl that I Nolan, can you guys spell? God. Well, there was a girl that I was talking to before I met my girlfriend. And I haven't told her that I have a girlfriend now. And she still thinks I'm single. What to do? Tell her, you moron. Good God.
That seems like an easy one. Tell the girl that you have a girlfriend. I don't know. Do you think he's asking because he still thinks the other one's better?
I don't know. I mean, look, if you're going to read the tea leaves here, obviously you still kind of like this girl.
Yeah.
You never gave it a shot, but you're committed to a girlfriend now. So be a man of principle and ride it out with your girlfriend. Give her
for sure
the undue attention that she deserves, and that's on you. That's on you. You didn't take it to the.
Make sure that you let this girl know that you're off the table.
Yeah.
Don't make it like, well, we don't know what's going to happen with this one, because then you're just making the other one fail. You're making the relationship you're in fail. You're setting it up for disaster. To be like, if you're going to commit. If you're not, you're not.
And Nolan, believe me, I know the girls are hankering for a sample of that sweet, sweet Nolan.
It's a sweet misspelling Nolan. He's dropping charm all over the streets.
You have an A in your name. Use it before a girl or a boy or any of that.
Here he is. He's crushing the streets of Akron, Ohio, just making those streets shiver.
Oh,
Ed Sheeran in it over there.
I mean, how many times you bringing girls to Long John Silver?
What's up?
Like, yeah.
After, we're going to go see a double feature at the AMC. We're going to go see 2 movies, only pay for 1 because we live on the edge.
Oh, and you're crazy. You're a crazy guy.
Yeah, I'm bringing the snacks from home. I'm not. I'm going to the Kroger's and I'm buying them in bulk. The popcorn, I'm making little zippy bags, putting them in my pocket. We're not buying this.
Do you sneak candy into the movie theater?
What am I, an animal? Of course I do. You think I'm out here paying $47 for a bag of M&Ms? No, I'm stuffing them in my daughter's pockets.
My wife and I used to go to Cold Stone Creamery in Pasadena, and we get the ice cream, and we're like, to go, please. And we get the things in a bag, please, with spoons. and then we put it in the purse,
In a purse.
and we go inside
And
and
you
have
eat
our
Cold
Cold
Stone?
Stone
That's cool.
in the movie theater.
I
yeah.
remember I got into it with a worker at a
I've never
cinema.
seen you go at it with anybody.
Well, it wasn't. We got into a tete-a-tete because I wanted. I got a coffee before we went in,
Right.
And I walked in, and this was years back, and I said, "It's actually in the Grove." The movie theater in the Grove.
Oh, yeah.
Before we went to go see a movie after our shift,
Super nice
I was with
movie
some
theater.
friends. I was like, I'm going to grab a coffee. So I stopped at the farm that was there, and I grabbed the coffee. And we're walking in, and the guy goes, he goes, "Hey, you can't bring that in here." I said, I just want to drink a coffee while I'm watching. I said, I'll buy something else. I said, I just wanted a coffee. And he goes, "You can't bring that in here." I said, "Do you sell coffee?" He goes, "No." I said, "I want coffee."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Well, you can't." I was like, "Well, it's not like you're losing out on the sale because you don't sell it."
Right.
I said, I gladly would have bought a coffee if you sold it here. And he goes, "Makes sense, but I still can't let you take it in." And I said, "Oh." I said, "Okay." So I just stood in front of him and just drank the whole coffee in front of him. And I just stood to the side. I said, "I'll just finish it out here." And I just drank. I just watched. And it was so awkward because nobody else came to. He didn't have to rip a ticket for anybody at that point. So it was just me. I was doing them. Like that.
And you think maybe at some point
He's just going.
Go, dude.
That's what I
Just
thought he
go."
was going to do. He didn't. He stood his ground.
And you stood your ground.
Which was crazy.
You had your coffee.
I had my coffee.
You both did it.
That's it. I missed the previews, but fine. And that was it. And I went in.
What was the movie? Do you remember?
I think
Fourth
it was
grade
one,
teacher.
I know.
Who is she?
Well done, Mrs. Mascara. She transferred.
Do
From
you
third
really
to fourth.
remember that?
Yeah, she actually. I had her 2 years in a row because she transferred from. She was my third grade teacher, and she transferred to fourth.
It's astounding you remember that stuff.
I don't really remember much more though.
This is coming to us from Alexis. Hi, Two Cool Moms. Hope you had an amazing summer.
Yes.
My question is simple. Y'all ready for fall? Y'all ready for
I
fall?
will say some people get excited for fall in a big way. The pumpkin spicers, they all get ready for it.
Yep.
I'm just,
You like fall?
it's just another season.
Ask me if I like fall.
Hold on, y'all ready for fall?
Ask me twice.
Okay, y'all ready for fall?
I'm so ready for fall. I love going to Florida in the fall. Do you know why? Because
What?
I love seeing the leaves on the ground still attached to the trees. Guys, hurricane season. Hit me again.
Do you like the fall?
I love the fall. You
Well-
know, I love going up to Canada because I love seeing the Prime Minister change colors. Guys, Justin Trudeau, he put on brown face when he was Aladdin.
That was in the fall? Bing. Who are you pointing at? Them. They know. Who asked the question? She. That's for Alexis.
That's for you guys. Got some fall humor.
Humor.
Am I ready for fall?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I love fall.
It might be my favorite question ever on the show.
Y'all ready for
For
fall?
fall. Y'all ready? Yes, I'm ready for fall. I will say this: some basic
Y'all ready for fall?
Some basic white bitches get crazy for fall, though. They get the Uggs out. They put on this double scarf in it. They get the earmuffs that have the bows, like the speakers in them, so they can walk and talk and drink their pumpkin spices.
Where's my scarf?
Oh, yeah. Pumpkin spice lattes have revolutionized the fall. The flavor, pumpkin spice. You get pumpkin spice everything. It's gross.
Well, that's like a seasonal thing at Starbucks.
100%.
I don't
Anywhere.
drink
And
coffee,
anywhere.
so I don't know
A
any of
pumpkin
it.
spice, you get a pumpkin spice, you get a pumpkin spice what? You get a donut, right? You get a donut, you get a latte, you get a candle, you get a pumpkin spice candle. It came in hot.
So the way the girls respond to pumpkin spice is
It's like boys football season.
it's like guys when you get the McRib,
Oh, yeah,
right?
baby. Yeah.
The McRib comes back for like a month every year.
Is that in the fall?
I don't know.
You all ready for
It's like-
McRib?
But it's like a month, I think,
Yeah.
that you can get the McRib. They bring it back.
Bring it back, y'all. Bring it back. Yeah.
Have you ever had a McRib?
Yes. I did back in the day.
What do you think?
It was gross. It's disgusting. What are you talking about?
Can I tell you-
Is anybody that said that question delicious? Does anybody answer that question any other way?
The McGriddle. The McGriddle, okay. So I go to when it
technology.
first comes out, right? I go to McDonald's, and it was like one of the rare times I get breakfast, and I go the McGriddle. Is that good? And the girl goes to me. She goes, "It's McDonald's." I was like, "Yeah, it's probably
McDonald's
right.
don't
Yeah.
lose. Ronald, don't lose. Ronald, don't lose.
Ronald, don't lose.
I will say this: the McGriddle, unbelievable technology that the guy thought. Oh, so and it tastes like syrup. I'm like the
A
work.
pancake bun with the syrup in it and a sausage patty
That
in the
can
middle.
be invented and that we can't solve other problems in the world drives me insane.
No,
It's
that's. I look at it the other way.
Yeah.
It's like we can't solve cancer, but guys, look at
At least we
there's
got this.
AIDS, but look
At
what
least
we
we got
got.
the McGriddle. Yeah.
We got it. Yeah.
That's in our corners. Like, hey, it's our silver lining. You're saying? You're like,
Yeah.
hey, you know what? Going through a crazy economic crisis right now, but McGriddle. Right. At least we got the McGriddle.
Inflation sky
whatever,
high,
yeah.
lending rate 7%. Guys, who's ready for the McRib?
Y'all ready for fall? Oh, y'all ready for fall is going to be a T-shirt
Y'all ready
that I'm
for
going to
fall.
make and wear. Y'all
By
ready
the way,
for fall?
she said it all caps.
Oh, great. Of course
So
she did.
she's definitely ready for
down.
fall.
She's ready for it. Yeah, I will say I don't mind fall. I like fall. Out of the seasons, it probably ranks third for me.
What's your number one?
Spring.
Spring.
I love the comeback. I love a comeback story. I love a blossoming. I love, you look desolate and all of a sudden, boom, sunshine, rainbows, flowers blossoming. What's that, a bumblebee? Hello, friend. It's been a while. That's what I'm saying.
I've never heard anybody refer to a season as I love a comeback story.
I do.
Welcome home, spring.
Welcome back, baby.
Welcome back.
Back. You know
That's
what?
hilarious.
It's cold. Oh, it's so
I love
cold
winter.
out here.
I love it.
Of course you do, because your soul is empty.
Jesus. My God.
You like winter?
I love it.
Well, I would say this too. You haven't really had. No, you did. You lived in Pittsburgh. They had rough winters, right?
Yeah, Pittsburgh's a pretty rough.
Because you had
winter.
LA winters, which doesn't make sense.
My wife, Minnesota. I mean, that's lake
wow.
effect. So she's
That's
a winter
like
girl.
Kodiak Bear.
Yeah.
Oh wow, it's crazy. She loves winter or hates
She
it.
hates it now.
Yeah, right.
But she grew up with it.
Yeah.
And it's miserable in Minnesota.
Your kids seen snow?
Yeah.
Where?
Miami? Guys,
Cocaine.
it's a cocaine joke.
Cocaine joke, guys. We get it. Y'all ready for cocaine? Did you?
By the way, I started off a Zoom one time.
Here we go.
We did like 6 Zooms in one day, and we're pitching a TV show. And I was just like, again, I'm just going to do this. I think it was like with, it might have been with TBS.
Okay.
And I just, I have the thing, and as soon as the executives come on, they're like, all right, and I go like this. What's up, guys?
Dude. You thought that was a good idea?
I thought it was going to be funny, and I was like, I'm totally joking. But then it looked like maybe I did cocaine, and I was like,
Because you were excited during the meeting?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Not
Stupid.
good. Not a good joke.
absolutely stupid. Yeah.
Stevie. Oh, well, we're ready for fall. I think the moms are ready for fall.
The answer is yes. Absolutely ready for fall.
There you go. Y'all's ready for falls.
That sounds like it sounds like a.
Sounds like a shirt.
I mean, look at that with the hearts.
Oh,
in
it's
it.
got hearts too.
Yeah, that's very
Good,
sweet.
good emoji work.
Thank you, Alexis.
We love you, Alexis. Thanks for bringing some energy.
Okay, this is coming to us from, I don't know how to say this because D3S. I think this is a droid.
Dirths?
D3S.
Dithers.
Okay.
Dithers. Let's call it Dithers. Dithers, right? We had to say something.
Oh, here it is. Ready?
Is the name in there, you dumb shit?
Hi, cool moms. I'm Jay.
You're trying to solve a real, like, national treasure.
What is D3? What?
Like in Nicolas Cage.
That's a handle.
Yeah, it's a handle.
Okay,
buddy.
but I know, but most handle. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Feels like winter in here.
What's up, Jay?
It's really cold. I recently been
Don't
struggling.
worry, we'll make
to
it
have-
back. We'll make it back.
Jay says, I've recently been struggling to have motivation to anything anymore. I have basic happiness in life, but yet seems to fall short of internal happiness most people hold. What do you recommend I do to help benefit myself in a positive way? Thanks, moms. Love you. I have the basic happiness in life, but yet seem to fall short of
Inner
internal
happiness. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Most people hold.
So basic happiness meaning content versus happy, right? That's what I interpret that, right? People could be confused being content with being happy sometimes, and he doesn't feel joy. He's looking to feel joy.
Just not motivated to do anything anymore.
Yeah,
which
so
is
there's no joy there, no joy for life, right?
right.
Been there for sure. I've had a rough couple.
Sure.
You know, I love a good comeback story though. I'm
Doesn't
on my way
sound
back.
like he's ready for fall.
No, he's not ready for fall. No. Sounds like he fell. So let's pick that boy up.
Yes.
What I would say is you need to find little things that give you real happiness, not superficial happiness, right? So for me, like making people laugh and spending time with quality people, that brings me a joy in a real way, you know? Superficial happiness is like, a cookie or watching a movie or something like that just makes you feel okay on the outside.
Like
But
Bangladesh.
yeah, exactly is what I meant. So you get me, Steve. What I think is important is like, do you have to get something to feed your soul? Feed your soul. That's what you're talking about. Like, what makes you what makes you truly happy? What makes you truly happy, Steve? Besides spending time with me.
Well, I love doing stand-up.
No,
makes me happy.
Yeah, but it doesn't make other people happy. What, I didn't ask you what makes other people miserable.
We did last night at the charity.
Oh, yeah, zingy zanga.
No, I think.
Making people laugh, feed your soul.
I'm fortunate enough to have an occupation that I truly do love.
Yeah,
I love my job.
right.
My family, absolutely.
Right, the
Spending
kids.
time with them, that makes me happy. I love nothing more. Nothing, and I say this all the time when I'm home. If we have a pizza, if we order Chinese, whatever, we'll sit in the TV room. We'll eat. I'll have like Reese's wafers waiting for me afterwards. Like I have my food set, my family's there, and we're about to start a movie, and I just go, "This is the best.
That's the moment.
This is the best." And I say it all the time.
Right.
But I think it's like these little things. Like the other night, I finished my show at West Nyack. I pulled the sheets over me. I got a movie ready to play. I'm watching a documentary.
There it is.
Watching a doc, and I'm taking a bite of this pizza, and I'm just looking at myself. I'm like, this is the best. Yeah. Like, I love like little moments. Like I absolutely savor those moments where I'm just like not doing a goddamn thing, and I'm just turning off. I'm watching something, and I'm eating something fantastic, and I'm either with my family or friends at a movie theater or whatever, and I constantly say to myself, "This is the best."
Yeah.
All the time.
That's great.
Yeah. I haven't said it once in studio today, but
that's not true. You enjoy this job. It's part of your job. You love it. You come all the way from Nashville, Tennessee, just to spend time with me.
Help people.
That's great.
Yeah.
I will say this, like for our friend here, Dethrisky, also known as Jay.
Yeah.
I think because what we're giving him is he's like, he's like, I'm not going to pop a kid out right now. Maybe I hate my job. What can I do right now? Yeah. And what I think the big part of it is to like identify what gives you joy is half the battle. Like, and what, like, take stock in when you're smiling. Take stock in those moments. Is it spending time with a friend? Is it one friend that gives you a lot of joy? What's happening in that moment? I think it is identifying the moments that make you happy. Fill your life with more of those moments, and you're going to fill up the tank of happiness. And I think that's really important. Because it's only going to get depleted when you're unhappy. So you need to.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said, too, for forcing yourself to, like, it's so easy, especially like comics.
Yep.
The laziest people in the world, where just like, it's so easy to just sit in a hotel room all day and do nothing.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm going to force myself to go out.
Yeah.
I was talking to Jiggy about this. I went to Nyack, and I was like, I'm going to get out of my room and walk around downtown Nyack. And I found a great bookstore. I found this great pizza shop.
Awesome.
I was like, I'm so glad I left the house.
Right.
I'm so glad I left the apartment.
You got out.
Or the hotel, yeah. But even when like I'm home in Nashville, there's been days where I'm like, I don't have anything to do. And I know if I just sit on the couch all day, I'll just do it. So this is showing my age, okay? Yeah. But I looked up like antique stores.
Ah, nice. I love teaking.
And I found this massive one that was like rated 5 stars, and it was like a huge like warehouse. I was like, all right, let me get in the car and just do this. And I went, and I had an absolute blast. I was there for 2.5 hours.
How much did you buy?
I spent $300.
Of course,
and Jess was like, what the fuck?
What'd you get? Oh, you bought other people's garbage.
I bought other people's garbage.
If I open an antique store, that'd be the name of it. Other people's garbage. That's 100%. I love antiques, and I think I would love to name it other people, because I call it what it is. Main Street, candles and bullshit. That's the name of my store. Every main street in America has a store, candles and bullshit. It's got candles, stupid fucking bullshit. It's got your dumb coasters that say, I heart me. It's got your stupid fucking towels. It's got your wine tasting flights. It's got little figurines made out of silver that looks like a puppy. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Candles and bullshit. I go in there, drop $300.
You love it.
I love a candles and bullshit.
Main Street.
I love a main street. I love it because I've been going through all these little
I've seen
towns.
You zigzag.
I jaywalk main streets. Bing bongo, bing bongo. I go in all of them.
You support. Well, I think more than anything, you like to support
100%.
the venue, store, or the employee. Because one of the things you always say to individuals, do you get commission?
Yeah.
You always ask.
Yeah, and I'll
'cause
buy
of your
more.
time at Nordstrom's.
And I'll buy
you'll-
more.
Yeah.
Or I won't force myself. That will teeter me if I'm going to buy these jeans or not. If I like them, they're okay. All right. Do you work on commission? Yeah. All right. You were great. I'm going to buy them.
Yeah.
You don't? That's okay. I'm not going to get them.
Right.
Because it doesn't really take any money. I don't want to take money out of people's pockets for the time they did. So
To Jay, I would say maybe force yourself to get up and just even take a walk.
for sure, get out of the house. Happiness doesn't happen by yourself in a hotel room.
The best ideas I've come up with have been when I've been taking walks. And it's only the last 10 years I realize I'm like, go take a walk, figure it out. And that's when I just, for some reason, that's, I don't know, it's the activity that I just work, I get all my work done when I get a walk in. I'm like, okay, I got to do this, I got to do that. So if you're not motivated, I think force yourself to do something where you can at least give yourself the thought of what you'd like to accomplish, maybe.
Get a dog.
Care for something.
Get a dog.
There you go.
Get a dog. Dogs change your perspective on everything. Just a moment. Take away loneliness. They give you love. You feel like it. Or go, if you don't want the responsibility of a dog, go spend a day volunteering at the local shelter.
Right.
Be around dogs. It's crazy. We just went to a shelter yesterday in Huntington, and around all these puppies, they found a stray that we wanted to help find a home for him. These cute little puppers. And Broccoli Rob, we named him. And so we got this dog, and we were just spending time there, and I met this gentleman who works there, and it's a municipality. He's a straight up dog catcher.
Right.
That's what he does, and he just loves animals. And we were talking about it, and I was like, it's got to be hard for you. He's like, yeah. He's like, but he's like, I work extra hard to find these dogs homes and stuff. He's like, because I just really do. He's like, I love what I do. I love being around dogs. And I just thought about that. And it just is infectious if you're around dogs and stuff. So I would say it doesn't even necessarily have to be dogs, but if you go volunteer at a place or something you're passionate about, that's going to give you purpose, fill you with some joy too.
Yeah.
So.
And it's Gatto Pups.
And Friends. Gatto Pups and Friends. That's us. We're out on Long Island doing the damn thing. If we can, you can follow us on Instagram, or if you want to go to gattopupsandfriends.com, find a dog. You know what? Jay, come on by. Come help us out.
There you go.
Yeah, we have volunteers. Come on.
Jay, you have an open invite.
Yeah.
To go to, because you have the storefront now.
Yeah.
And you help. And I literally was in Tampa, and Laurel Ray came to a show with her mom.
Yeah.
And told me that they not only got one dog, they got two dogs with
came
you.
out and grabbed two great ones of ours.
Within a week of each other.
Yeah.
And they made 2 trips up to up to
New York.
storefront. Yeah.
It was great. So. We got they're great. They're great. Yeah, I love when fans. It's good. It feels nice that besides just spreading comedy and joy, I actually get to help these puppies out, and I love when my fans support me in both ways, not just laughing at my jokes, but also help me help these dogs. So speaking of which, Biscotti has joined us on set here. That's beautiful. That's my puppers. I love my Biscotti. Queen Bee.
I mean, if the aliens came down.
If they're here. Have you not read the online reports? They parked their UABs and they're out front.
Ask me what I think about the aliens.
What do you think about the aliens?
Well, Joe, I hope the aliens don't land here on the planet because it's one more identity we've got to learn about. So it's going to be LGBTQET. Guys, I'm here.
Well, thanks for joining us. No, you're not. We're done. That's it. Thank you, guys. And we're out. Thank you so much for listening to Two Cool Moms. I've been Joe Gatto.
I'm Steve Byrne.
Still. And we love you guys. Thank you for the follows, subscriptions, listening to us, supporting us.
Yes.
Yeah. You want to submit your queries for us to help you with these dilemmas because we're clearly so good at it.
We're the best.
Yeah. You go to
nobody better
at Two Cool Moms Pod on Instagram, or submit questions to twocoolmomspod@gmail.com.
Yes. And we are thrilled to be here at iHeartRadio.
Loving it.
Thank them, and thank you guys.
Yeah.
These mommies love you, so show us some love.
Please rate us and review us, follow us on all social media, and subscribe to our YouTube.